Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Dear Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Pour
love
more
you.
wine.
Drinking.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is Ill-advised.
Hey, BiFFs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Well, welcome to Ill-advised.
The podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
While we're drinking.
I was not expecting that. I don't know why. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They've tuned in before. They know we drink wine.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I?
We know we drink wine.
We need to rehearse that better.
No, that's the best part
Is that it?
of our intro.
We just, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not bitching.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bitching, but I'm done bitching.
You're the bitching Biff.
I'm the bitchin' Biff Ray, and that's the bitchiest Biff.
Stephanie.
And
I don't know if I'm going to accept that title yet.
I don't know. You should.
It depends on the day.
And
If it's
the
a
mood.
Y day, yes.
Yes. That's a whole full-fledged yes.
Yes.
How you doing, Biff?
I am doing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it?
I'm the little engine that can,
Yeah?
that would, that did,
Could.
that is going to. I'm just, I don't know how to explain it, actually. I'm like
You're usually the good
Not
one at articulating.
coasting, but like coasting.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
I told you I don't know how to explain it.
So, like, are you on a surfboard?
Surfboard.
Or are you, like,
Surfboard. I wish I was Beyonce on a surfboard.
Well,
Let's just put it
or on
there.
a jet ski?
Not a jet ski.
Not a
'cause
jet ski.
That's way fun.
Okay. All right. So, surfboard.
Yeah, but like on my belly, paddling with my hands and my feet.
Okay. All right. Coasting. Noted. You're wading.
Yes.
You're not coasting. You're wading. That's it. You're in the water. You're not all the way out there, but you're in the water.
Yeah, I'm like a bobber.
I can't.
Just bobbing.
Just Bob. Sorry, pups.
How are you?
I am.
Jesus.
It's actually been a hard week for mental health, man. Last week I was good. This week I was like distracted by my own like insecure bullshit.
Ugh.
It's been like,
That's most obnoxious.
it's like the worst part of it is like, I know that it's my insecurity. So I know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't stop.
But, right. Yep.
It's like cocaine.
You know it's terrible for you, but you can't stop.
And you can't stop.
How do you
really
know,
need to
Beth?
try cocaine.
I was going to say, how would you even know?
I don't know.
But
I
also accurate.
don't. Is it true? Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Sorry, Dad.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, no. Other than that, like I'm good. This morning, I realized I didn't succumb to any of my like insecurities. So
That's amazing.
when I went to go write, I was like, oh, like I got up, I went to the gym, I did some work while I was working out, and then I realized I'm like, oh, like when I have something else to focus on, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So just stop being bored.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's all I can do.
I like it.
Yeah.
I will cheers to that.
Want to cheers to it?
Let's.
How about to this wine?
Perf.
This one is a Sauvignon Blanc.
My favorite.
I know, you picked this one out. And from New Zealand, because where the fuck else are you going to get it?
favorite.
Although we did get one from Australia that we liked. But
Sure.
this one is $14.99 and it's called Cloud Number 9. It's very pretty. It's got like, are those clouds or is that just art?
It's clouds, Biff.
It's clouds.
Cloud number 9.
Right. I'm an idiot. Plus there's a bitch in the clouds.
Or is it a
on the
sheep
logo.
or a wolf?
Is it? I can't. I'm only book smart, bro. I am nothing else smart. I'm nothing else smart. This is a 2017. Way to go, Biff.
Oh, I knew that.
If you've traveled to Marlborough, you know it is a special place. It's all blue skies with clean
Not
green.
Marlborough, Massachusetts.
No, Marlborough, New Zealand.
Right. Just
Yes.
wanted to clarify.
Jess, spelled the same.
I'm just kidding, all you Marlboroughers.
Marlboroughians.
Yeah, that.
Marlboroughites.
Marlborough
Reds.
wrongs.
It's all blue skies with clean and green fields and clear running streams. Here, anything is possible. Just like the cloud number 9 girl, the magic of Marlborough comes from its purity. You can feel the strong connection that exists between the land and its people. The essence of the valley lifts you to great heights, and the resulting wines are an expression of its purity, freshness, and style.
Who's the cloud number 9 girl?
This bitch. There's a little cloud number 9 girl on the bottom. And that was from Christian Butler, the founder. Cloud number 9.
Is that a New Zealand accent?
No, I can't do one. I can't do an Australian accent. Never mind New Zealand.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, Biff.
Smells like wine.
It smells really good, actually. Kind of fruity. Interesting. This bottle didn't describe the flavor at all.
Got fruity.
I like it. It's yummy. Ooh, sour face.
Tastes like a cork. Like if I was
know what you're talking
sucking
about.
the wine off of that cork bottle, like a Oyster Bay cork.
Does Oyster Bay have a cork?
No.
Oh.
But if Oyster Bay had a cork and you sucked on it,
It would taste like this wine.
That's fucking funny.
Oh my God.
Also super
Save
accurate.
a wine glass, suck a cork. I mean, I like it. I wouldn't go out of my
I don't
way
hate
and
it.
find it.
Yeah, I won't buy it again.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
2
It's
stars, 3 stars? I would give it 3.
yeah, it's still good. You just have that really strong barrel taste.
I see you're saying like it's kind of like oaky.
Mm.
Now I can taste it.
Mhm.
And I haven't even taken another sip yet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a 3 though, because it's one that I would, if it was at the package store and it was the only Sauvignon Blanc, I would buy it. Whereas a 4 and a 5, I would seek out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A 2, I'd drink it at a party. I wouldn't pay for
Yeah.
it. Somebody
Or
else
you
would.
drink it like after a good bottle of wine.
A 1, I would cook with it.
Yes.
Actually, that's not true.
I would cook.
You
with
would cook with it. I cook with the stuff I drink.
Mm.
BiFF, you have questions this week.
I have questions.
You have questions. I heard that on the way here.
I always have questions.
I don't have answers. Where's that fucking song?
A man is still writing it.
Excellent. Oh, that's a good snippet. Can we do anything with that? Probably not.
We will.
We will. Okay. Hit me. What do we got this week?
This is creators.com.
Like breeders?
Creators.
Right.
I don't understand the question.
I don't know, like making babies or like anti-Jesuses or pro-Jesuses.
What?
I'm reading a book right now.
Creators.
And creators is in it with all of these different definitions.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you for Englishing.
Thank you for clarifying, because I was starting to question your
I'm sorry.
sanity.
I'm so sorry. What, you're starting to? Where the fuck you been?
I mean, I was becoming more concerned. So this is creators.com. Don't fucking say a word.
I'll just drink my wine.
Amy Alkon.
The Advice Goddess?
By Amy Alkon. I don't know. Do you have any insight on her, Biff?
I think we did her before.
I believe
Once
so,
or
because
twice.
it always makes me want to say Akon with an L.
Oh, yeah.
May 17th, 2022.
2022.
Okay, this question is titled To the Bitter Friend.
Oh, I just got eyes.
After 6 years of hard work, I am starting to have some success in my career. Disturbingly, my best friend seems envious. I'll tell her some exciting news and she'll barely respond. I understand that she's trying to break through while working a menial job, but my other friends are really supportive and happy for me. She claims she is too, but her behavior says otherwise. It really hurts my feelings. Signed, Disappointed. Now, quick sidebar.
Barring sides.
These answers, these responses from Amy
Are they miles long?
are like high school essays.
Ew.
Right.
Double spaced?
No.
1-inch margins?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So, with that being said, we are not going to read the entire answers.
No. So we're just going to skim for them.
We're going to skim through, get the best of the best.
The creme de la
And
creme.
if you would like to, at a later date, go read the full responses, we will leave that information available for you.
Yes, in the show notes.
Yeah.
We always post our sources.
Okay. So, Biff,
So the friend is
it really hurts her
envious.
feelings. My best friend seems envious. I tell her exciting news. She barely responds. My other friends are really supportive and happy for me. She claims she is too, but her behavior says otherwise, and it really hurts my feelings.
So best friend.
Yeah.
So when you were reading that, the first thing that came to my mind was like, when anything good has ever happened to me, you've always been super supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you just look for any excuse for us to go out and get a drink. So like,
Yeah.
you're like, let's go celebrate.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I think we're good like that for each other. So I can't relate. I don't know that I've had a best friend. I've definitely had a friend that wasn't supportive, that was just like always negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I think I've been that friend too. But a best friend, I think that's a different level. But did she say that she told her best friend, you know, or talked to her about it?
No. Well, actually, she claims she is too, but her behavior says otherwise. So that makes me feel like she has mentioned something.
Right. No, I'm so happy for you.
Like, oh, you don't seem it.
Right. So what's the
There's
question?
not a specific question. She just said it really hurts her feelings.
That's not your best friend.
Mm.
That's not your best friend. Envy is not part of a healthy relationship.
Mm.
No, we're here to boost each other. I'm assuming this is two women, or did I hear something that I'm talking like this is two women?
At least the best friend is.
Okay. And Amy Alkon is actually known for boosting women. So actually,
Beautiful.
I feel very confident in this. She's not your best friend. And this world is already faces so many obstacles where women are pitting women up against each other. There are just so many instances of that, like in the workplace, in the media, on social media, anything. It's like there's like a movement to push for cat fights, or you know what I mean? Like for stupid shit like that. And not a movement for, but like there's what's the word I'm looking for? It happens. I don't know what the word is. It just happens.
I'm not sure what word either. I think I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. So, and it kind of pisses me off because it's almost like ingrained in young girls so early on. But I digress. This is just like another form of it. I feel like somebody who's just there to tear you down because she feels like you're above her level, or she feels inferior to your success. And it's just not fair, and it's not supportive, and you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
Amen to that.
That's it.
Yeah. Because
I couldn't imagine if you were negative when something good happened to me.
I was never happy for you.
Right. And I can't imagine what you would feel like if I was like, I'm always like cautiously optimistic when you tell me good news. And same thing for me. Like when I experience good things, I'm like, yeah, I got promoted. It's probably going to suck. But yeah, more money. You know, like, so I think that's where I am with that. Like, that's not your friend. Like if you haven't had, you know, we're assuming you have based on the way that it's worded, but if you haven't had a candid conversation with this person, just being like, you know, you're not showing me. You're saying you're supportive because I brought it up, but you're not showing me. You're constantly negative about it. You know, if you haven't had that conversation, it's worth trying if this is your best friend. But after that conversation, if it hasn't changed, this person's not happy for you. They're too busy comparing themselves to you.
So, great answer.
Oh, thank you. But
I actually had this friend.
was it me?
No, motherfucker. Don't flatter yourself.
I'm still here. I'm so flattered.
It just was like always, if we didn't do what she wanted to do, then she ruined the night. She was miserable. And if an attractive man came over and started to give me more attention, she literally would like grab my arm and like pull me away. Like it was. I
actually witnessed that. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. And it was like, you know, you'd get dressed, put on this outfit that you know probably isn't your most flattering. And like your best friend would be like, girl, let's wear the black dress tonight. You know, this friend was like, oh, you look great. Like, don't even worry about it. Because she felt better when she felt she looked better than you. And just a super draining, difficult friendship. And it was the same thing that like something great happened to me. It'd be like, oh, cool.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it just started to feel like you are so insecure that like I'm exhausted for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it didn't make me feel shitty about myself. It just started to be like, oh my friggin' God. Like I just can't go to therapy for fuck's sake.
That's
like
the best advice ever.
You know, so it just, I guess my, what's the word? Advice. I guess my advice would be like, if it's affecting you emotionally, like if it's actually bothering you and making you feel shitty, like you need to really take a step back and think, is this friendship fixable? Is this something I can sit down with her and have a conversation? And she's the type of friend that will be like, holy shit, like, yeah, I get it. I get why it's been not looking like I'm supportive of you or whatever. Or if this friend's going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, I am so excited for you. Like, because then that's just, I would like to say, most likely not going to end. Like, your friendship is going to end. And so,
yeah,
my friendship ended. You know?
Yeah, and you tried hard on that one too. That was
my, like, I don't want to give everything away. I wish the best. So I'm not going to get into details. But, like, that was a really great friend. And it sucked.
Yeah.
That, like, there was no movement on that type of stuff to the point where I'm just like, I just can't do it no more. Like, it's leaking over onto me.
Even her personal maturity, you know what I mean?
Right.
That
the
was
emotional awareness. And
it never happened. And
yeah.
I don't know. I think there's got to be some sort of a trauma or some sort of experience to be that emotionally stunted. And I wish that I knew enough to kind of figure it out. Just not for any reason other than curiosity but to know, like, for someone to be that insecure in general in life, not just with people. This person was very insecure throughout.
Yeah. And very blatant, very blatant about it.
Yeah. And was so negative about it, even on social media, that I had to like.
Yeah. And it wasn't even your best friend.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I went deuces.
True.
But I mean, it wasn't one of my best friends, but we definitely got, close for a little while because of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they were a good friend, but when they weren't, it was scathing. It was draining. It was so offensive.
It was so exhausting.
It was so offensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I totally get it. My advice to the friend that is draining, or to that friend, is all you really need to do is continue trying. That's, to me, continue trying to support your friend. That's how growth happens. If there's not a switch that you change, you know what I mean, overnight, where you're like, oh, I'm going to be a good person tomorrow.
Well, first you have to be aware.
You have to, right.
You have to be aware that I'm doing this. This is my behavior. This is my pattern. This is my whatever.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm just saying, like, to show your friend that you actually are committed to their success and happy for them, you just need to actually try. And also your awareness, right? Like, acknowledge that, I'm sorry, I'm not being supportive and I really mean to be. And I'm going to try to show you, just like continue trying. That's how good habits happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that to me is a habit. Yeah. To automatically fall to the default, to the negative, to the, you better watch out because this person's going to screw you over.
Yeah, that's a knee jerk for sure.
Yeah. So that's just my advice to them. Like, just try to change. Try to change your outlook. Not you, maybe.
Well, first you just have to want to, like.
Amen to that.
You have to want to, like, I don't want to live like this person.
Right.
I don't want to have that knee jerk anymore.
I made that decision.
Yep, you did.
I made that decision, and I'm trying every single fucking day to be. You made that decision.
Yep.
What the fuck's wrong with this person?
I could ask. Let's see what Amy has
Yeah,
to
please.
say. We often do crazy things simply to keep up with our peers who are doing those things. Not, say, because we're bored on a Saturday afternoon and had a little brainstorm. I know, I'll pay some total stranger $55 to spread molten wax on my labia and rip out all my pubic hair.
Same, girl.
We evolved to be creatures of quote-unquote social comparison, not compassion. Judging how well we're doing personally and professionally by how we stack up to others. As I often explain, our emotions are not just for mental decoration. They're motivational tools. When we're lagging behind our peers, envy often rises up, as it seems to be in your friend. Envy is mistakenly assumed to be ugly and shameful, but evolutionary social psychologists Bram Bunk, B-U-U-N-K,
Bunk. Sorry, Brian.
and his colleagues explain that the feel bad we get from envy pushes us to get on the stick and narrow the status gap between ourselves and others. If you do tell her about some win, consider pairing the news with mention of the years of grubby work and daily failures that went into it. This might help her view the success you've achieved as something attainable, as opposed to some magical gift. Oh my God, I just was sitting on my porch drinking beer when my boss called and said, "You often cut work out and smoke a lot of pot. Let's give you the VP job."
Was that the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was with that until that last thing. Like,
You often cut work and smoke a lot of pot, so let's give you the VP job.
well, maybe not even the example. Maybe like that tactic to begin with, because
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm thinking
Go on.
I'm going.
I know, I just wanted to
Don't
be
rush
dramatic.
me. So I'm thinking, if you're telling someone, like, I'm with the concept of like, let me show you or tell you the trials and tribulations I went through to get to this. Sure, you worked your ass off. That's a good way to kind of show that it's attainable, right? That you can progress professionally, personally, whatever, to get to that reward. But to just be like, I was on my porch smoking pot when the boss called, and now I went from administrative assistant to like marketing manager or something like that. It's just like, you don't try. That's just like adding insult to injury. Like, you don't have to try to get good luck.
Well, that was the point
Oh,
that she was saying to...
I never fucking listen. I hear you.
Yeah, you are still a man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still writing that book.
She's saying to consider pairing the news with the mention of the years of grubby work and daily failures. And then she like gave an example. Like, say like, oh my God, last year I just couldn't catch a break, as you know, and then I finally, just kept going and I made it, versus saying like,
Oh,
bro,
versus?
last week. Yeah, like,
I understood that as the example
no,
to her first part.
it was like you don't want to just say like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
my God, Tony just called me while I was sitting on Grammy's porch smoking a cheap and I got the job.
Whatever. Like, I agree, Amy. It's fine.
He agrees. He has been ill-advised. Thank you, Amy.
He shan't advise. That's what it...
Okay, next. This one is called Guess Leak.
Gas leak?
Guess instead of gas leak. Guess leak.
Guess?
Guess. Like, you'll never
Guess.
guess.
Okay.
You'll never guess this leak.
Okay, let me guess your leak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Let me
my
get my cork.
second husband and I were happily married, but based on my past experience, the signs are there that he's planning on leaving me. He's going to the gym regularly,
Your LY words.
working later, eating healthy, and dressing better for work. At New Year's, he did say his resolution was to improve himself and get ahead at work to provide better for our family, but that seems too convenient. His recent behaviors are almost exactly like what my rotten first husband was doing when he left me. Signed, Hate Reruns.
So she's not asking, but I guess the implication is, should I chuck him?
The signs are there that he's planning on leaving me.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no real question to these.
So he's eating well. His commitment to be there for his family and to do better is a cop-out.
Yeah.
But the signs are what your ex-husband did?
Yes. His recent behaviors are almost exactly like what my rotten first husband was doing when he left me.
It's not to discredit someone's feelings and intuition, but there's some sort of residual, there is residual resentment, residual feeling from your rotten ex-husband that's informing your present psyche, like the way that you're reacting to this.
Yes.
If someone decides to eat better, congratulations. Let's not be that friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone decides that they want to commit more to their family, what role do you play in the relationship or in this person's life to tell them they're not trying hard enough if they don't feel fulfilled? Yes, a man, but also still apples and oranges. The comparison ends there. It's not necessarily what brought you to this person to begin with. What are the qualities that don't remind you of your ex-husband? You know what I mean? Like what brought you into this relationship? Why do you think, what other behaviors do you think this person or that they're exhibiting that you think that they're going to leave you? I guess that's just not enough for me to give anything other than like explore yourself and find out why you feel this way.
Yeah.
Because this is
she knows why she feels that way.
Right.
Because her ex-husband did all the same things that her current husband is doing.
So what I mean is like, why are you projecting that on this person?
That doesn't feel like a projection if it's the same behaviors.
Yeah, but those behaviors, at least the ones she described, aren't inherently bad.
No, I agree.
It's just so hard for me to I just feel like we don't have enough information.
I totally agree with you, by the way. I'm just
fucking poking the bear.
I got questions.
Poke the bear.
Yeah.
I just think I need more info. There's not enough here. He's exhibiting behaviors, and that's valid. Feel how you feel. You know? I don't know where to go from there. What are your thoughts?
So I agree with you. His recent behaviors are almost exactly like what my rotten first husband was doing when he left me.
What's the difference?
So for me, it's like that is, like you said, definitely unhealed
trauma.
Yeah. And you referred to him as your rotten first husband. You are unhealed. So it's very easy in that emotional and mental state to notice every little thing that feels off to you.
Oh,
every little thing that looks
just stop talking.
What your ex was doing when he was leaving you. And that is super valid. And it's easy to get there emotionally and mentally. It's easy to pick up on these things.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're also anticipating on him leaving because of these signs. Because you're anticipating on him leaving, that's what you're going to be putting out there. And that may or may not cause him to leave. Regardless if he's planning on leaving or not, that's the energy you're going to start putting in there now.
And you start pushing him away.
You're going to indirectly push him away. He's going to leave if this is how you continue. You continue anticipating him leaving. You continue preparing for him to leave. You continue badgering him. Why are you going to the gym all of a sudden? Why are you doing this all of a sudden? All these things that is, another human is going to naturally want to separate from. So we put ourselves in these like conundrums.
Yes, we really do.
So it's like, now I have valid concerns. Well, maybe not valid to like outside looking in.
Valid to my feelings.
Valid to myself.
Right.
my ex did all these things and left. Now my current husband seems to all of a sudden be doing all of these things, right? Like that's very normal to feel and to pick up on when you've gone through shitty things. And so it's just like we put ourselves in these things that it's like, I feel validated in my feelings because of XYZ, but now I'm going to be, as you said earlier, projecting that into my relationship and maybe even being the cause of him eventually leaving.
Okay. That makes total sense.
So whatever we tell ourselves is like, we create that. So when we're saying, you know, great, he's going to leave because he's doing all the things that my shitty ex-husband did and he left me, right? So now that's the answer that we're going to find to give ourselves so that we can, yep, I was right.
Fuck, Biff, this really does hit.
Yeah.
So you're talking like negative affirmations at this point.
Yes.
Like you're literally willing it to not be. The story
that we have, our inner dialogue that we have for ourselves is what we seek out. So if our story is that like every man leaves, every man sucks, every man's a dog, we're going to find a man who's going to leave, who sucks, who's a dog, so that we can, yep, I was right. Fucking knew it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Kindly go fuck yourself. Fuck, this is so much therapy in one session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I really loved how you articulated all of that.
Good, because I was struggling to keep my brain on track.
I think you did a fantastic job. I love how you articulated that. And I don't even know if you should read Amy's response, but like, you know, in keeping up with our format, go ahead.
Yeah. So pretty much what we need to do is recognize that we are like, okay, like you said earlier, like just because he's going to the gym, like that's not, you know what I mean? Just because your ex.
Is he going to the gym or is he eating better?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
He's going to the gym all the time, working later, eating healthy, dressing better for work, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, shit. All the signs.
Right. So, let's see.
Does he have a new fucking Camaro?
To be human is to leap to conclusions. When we aren't doing Simone Biles level gymnastics to avoid exploring the obvious, quote, might there be a connection between the bizarre shrinkage of all my clothes and my mowing through 6 jumbo bags of Doritos daily? In my defense, Doritos are basically heroin you can pick up at the Piggly Wiggly. In your defense, for your Olympic long jump from he's eating healthy to he's yet another dirtbag who's leaving me, our brains are pattern spotting machines, hoovering up similarities in things and events. Sometimes these patterns are meaningful. Evoke his empathy by telling him about the pattern that's got you so worried. Open with, okay, maybe crazy, though maybe anything, but because, the workings of our minds will get you more answers than the defensiveness provoking, you're just like the last one.
Yikes.
Finally, look to history. Does his prior behavior over time, combined with the output from these other lines of inquiry, suggest that he's the sort to go? Toodle's wife and babies. If not, what stinks in his gym locker probably isn't a to-go bag. Yeah, this was... I couldn't even read this, let alone...
That was a very...
I feel like you should reread the answer.
I don't know. That one had it just had so many comparisons and so many examples that it didn't have, like there was so much substance that there wasn't any
substance.
It's like when you pack too many things into like a sentence and then the sentence is not a sentence anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Like she took this response and gave these very good examples, you know, as I'm able to kind of pick them apart. But to somebody who's just looking to read something, like I'm disinterested because I can't follow this.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, I couldn't read it
Amy.
for shit.
Yeah. Well,
so it could be partially me.
I don't know. I followed and it was just a lot. Sometimes I had to go in my mind and backtrack and I'm like, are there quotes around that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
So what's your take on this? Like, are you okay with this response?
I don't know what the response said. Literally don't. I don't.
Yeah.
You'll need to answer that.
I did get the part where like the Olympic junk. Yeah. Can you imagine just a bunch of dudes putting their shit on tables with fucking
finding
rulers?
Someone with an Olympic junk.
How many rings can you put on it? What I mean is,
babe, we need you for a new game tonight. You don't have to do anything, I swear.
Oh my God. I got the Olympic jump reference that she's just like doing all of these like, you know, convoluted gymnastics to come to whatever conclusion.
Yeah.
But A sometimes is B, but most times it's not.
Yeah, I did like that part.
So I'm going to take that and a mixture of what we said and say, this is your advice.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Amy can follow Ill-Advised on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Amy. She's great. This one was just hard for me to follow.
It was also hard for me to read.
Yes, it was.
Out loud, I mean.
Should we get to the next one?
Yes. May the divorce be with you. This is January 25th, 2022, and it goes like, my apartment building has paper-thin walls, and I overhear a lot of what goes on between the couple next door. The man makes constant belittling remarks, calling his wife ugly and stupid, and saying should cheat on him, but no other man would want her. What leads a man to talk to his wife like this? Signed, Horrified.
Where do we even start?
Well, you're a man, so...
Well, yeah, but I don't talk to women.
Fair.
I mean, I get along with them, so...
Have you only called any exes stupid or ugly?
Never, like, seriously.
No, I know.
Like,
I know.
One of my exes used to, like, say something that he thought was funny and then make this really ugly face. But which is really funny because I do the same thing, but would make this really ugly face laughing. I'd be like, ew, you're so ugly, stop. Or like, you know, that joke was so stupid, but I never actually like went out of my way to belittle anyone.
Yeah.
I don't think. At least not since high school.
That's super fair. I wish I could say the same.
Still doing it. What causes someone to talk to somebody this way? Insecurities, bad examples, terrible human.
What leads a man to talk to his wife like this?
She lets him, which is easier said.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to agree, but I do agree.
Well, yeah.
So what you allow is what continues.
Right. But it's also like hard to leave situations, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not as easy as like, we're done.
Right. Never is.
Of course.
So, you know, I don't know where else to go with this one. This man who doesn't, there are so many things that can go from it, but like a man that doesn't value women, who views them as property, who has some sort of manipulative or emotional grasp on her so that she does what he wants.
Yeah.
It's like you're, you know, tale as old as time type of bullshit that,
tale as old as time.
Jess. But like, you know, men have dominion over women, and then somebody who hasn't shed this mentality, well then, yeah, of course he's going to keep doing it to people. So
yeah, he doesn't see an issue with it.
I was this neighbor, I would fucking punch through the paper thin wall and grab his neck from the other side. I
can agree with that.
And just be like, you will not talk to her that way. And then if she's like, let go of my husband, I'll be like, I'll grab your neck too. You will not be talked to this way.
Do you hear me? You are a strong, beautiful, independent woman who won't take this shit.
You won't take this shit. I mean, you'll be independent when I let go of you. But you know what I mean? Like, I think I just put more abuse on her abuse, but I didn't mean to do that.
It was in a loving manner.
Yes, that always makes it better.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, because this isn't a question or something for advice, but like Amy probably went on some like 45-year long bender on that response.
Yeah, it's a good 4 or 5 paragraphs.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we all grow. So
I think I agree with you.
I don't know what else to say to
it's
this.
It's either like some sort of power kick, or like their core belief is that, you know, women are beneath me, or you in general, like you specifically, are beneath me. So, or just like that women in general are, you know, men are the whatever
superior.
The word. Yes, superior. Thank you.
Yeah, this goes beyond like
they just, it's almost like a panic response, in a sense, that they like feel the need to like try to take your power from you, and they do that by like belittling you and making you feel little.
Yeah, because if you don't go nowhere,
right,
it's status quo,
right?
You know.
And also, if you're under my quote unquote control, then you're not gonna, like, I can just continue with this.
Yeah. And there's so much that plays into that too. Like, it could be trauma response, you know, like, this is how my parents did it. It could be, you know, I never had any control and this is how I have it.
Right.
Or, you know, my outside
I have
life.
a small penis.
Yeah.
And
That was the first thing that I was going to say, but I left it alone. So yeah, I don't really have much to contribute to this other than like, let me answer your question, but not your like there's no advice. There's no subjectivity here, or maybe there is too much, and maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, it just says what leads a man to talk to his wife like this. So let's find out, shall we?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Let's shall.
Among the tips strangely absent on those, quote, ways to keep your marriage alive, quote, unquote, lists is, quote, if you can't say something nice, scream it at your wife.
Oh.
However, evolutionary psychologist Todd Shackelford finds that cruel put-downs are actually a mate retention tactic.
Oh.
Seriously low scorers in the what women want department. Women prize men who are kind, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, generous, and hardworking providers. These men have the emotional and financial chops to take the mate retention high road, showing the wife she's loved, romancing her with trips and gifts, and listening to her, making her laugh, etc. In contrast, a typical lumpen loser is lazy, selfish, dull, unattractive, and has a low-paying dead-end job. He lacks the psychology and resources to provide benefits. So he's prone to resort to cost-inflicting mate retention behaviors. Say that 3 times fast, but
cost-inflicting mate retention endeavors? Behaviors?
Yeah.
Oh, I already fucked it up.
Okay. Verbal abuse or violence or both, with the subconscious goal of making her too emotionally broken to leave. You fucking cocksucker.
And
it wasn't in the...
That was not... Yeah, that wasn't written. You should have seen her face when she did it. She ate the microphone like it was the cock.
My mouth opened that wide?
So wide.
These are some big chunks.
These are... I know, you still couldn't take it.
No. When the abuse is verbal, evolutionary psychologist Aaron Goetz finds it plays out in 4 ways. Cutting remarks about a woman's looks, her intelligence, and her value as a partner and a person, and often accusations that she's cheating. The message? Because men evolved to prize beauty, intelligence, kindness, and fidelity in their mates like no other man would want you. There is a pinprick of light in the gloom. Relationship researcher Jason Whitting reports that most women in abusive partnerships eventually leave, often because they reach a breaking point when the fear and pain become overwhelming. Ideally, she'll join that sisterhood sooner rather than later. Sadly, right now, probably all you can do, without possibly endangering yourself or her, is hope for a brighter future for her. Hold fast to your dreams, honey. Unlike as it is that a random hitman will kidnap your husband and dissolve him and lie in a motel bathtub.
Or punch through the paper thin wall and grab him by the neck.
Fucking here.
I feel like fucking Jessica Jones in that shit, like Marvel superhero through the wall bullshit. Like, no way. No way.
I like your response, Biff.
I know. Like it's almost like if you see something,
say something,
or do something. Every time I heard this motherfucker, I'd be calling the police being like, I'm offended. I would be a Karen just for that.
I feel like every single time I've heard him start with this shit, I would go knock on the door and ask for sugar. Every single time.
You sound so
and then
sweet.
I would just
Can I have some sugar?
And then I would just like glare at him the whole time while his wife's going to get me a cup of sugar. Yeah. I would just glare.
No, he's going to go get the cup of sugar and you're going to make plans with Becca.
Or that's what I'll do every time I go over. Ask for sugar and be like, girl, my friend just dropped this bottle of wine off at my house and left. Can you come drink it with me?
Yeah, that's actually brilliant.
Yeah. Like, can we play
Even
cards?
if you don't know her.
Or I'll like knock on the door crying like, I just need a friend right now.
I would fucking say, you're so weird. I don't know who you are. I was just getting yelled at by my husband. Yes, I'm coming.
Right. Is this an out?
Do you think I'm pretty?
Out right now?
I'm crying too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're not joking about the situation, but.
Right.
Just what we would do. I mean, that's all pretty textbook, I feel like. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it is good for you women's listening, not even just the women, people in general in relationships who may have a verbally abusive significant other. That is a tactic to keep you beneath them so you won't leave.
Yeah.
So I feel like that can give you a sense of almost power. Like now you know what's going on when he's screaming and cussing at you and all that shit. You can kind of keep that in the back of your mind as like this isn't a reflection of me or my worth or nothing like that. This is literally him like panicking almost and trying to keep me little so I don't go nowhere.
Yeah. And you need to constantly remind yourself of that because the first time isn't going to change your mindset.
Oh, God, no.
The second time isn't going to. Eventually, that's going to seep into your consciousness so much that you're just going to say, you can't keep me. Yeah. And you're going to pack your shit and go, or he's going to come home and take his shit off the lawn. Or vice versa. He, she, they, them.
Next.
Sure.
Silence of the ma'ams.
Ma'am. I couldn't help it.
Yes. Thank you. Can you read this question now?
No way. No way. I can't. Listen, I've been told I have a confusing writing style, but Amy Alkon is like kicking my ass right now.
She's kicking my ass.
She is.
I'm not.
She is.
This was February 15th, 2022. My girlfriends and I were out for drinks. One was talking about her bad day at work and how she found herself apologizing to her boss, though she wasn't the one at fault. The conversation turned to how women are constantly saying, I'm sorry to everyone, boyfriends, parents, strangers. I even apologized to the bartender at one point. Why do women seem to sheepishly apologize, often for no reason? Signed, not sorry. Good fucking question.
I don't know. Because society has taught you that you're inferior to men. Yeah. Because society has taught you that your job is to sit there and look pretty.
Yes.
That you're an object in a room. You are a fixture.
Yes. Be seen, not heard.
Stop fucking apologizing. Just fucking stop. Again, another thing easier said than done, right? But break these habits. Break these behaviors. I mean, I don't see you apologizing for stupid shit. Mm-mm. I don't know if you ever did, though.
I don't know.
You were never a lady, but...
I was never a gentleman either.
You had better luck as a gentleman, though.
Probably.
But this is another one of those questions where it's like, it's always been this way, so why change it? Or like, this is societally or culturally accepted or has been. And so, why don't you smile a little bit? You know, you might as well just tell someone their rack looks great at this point if you're expecting a sorry, so she can punch you square in the face.
Oh, they do, though.
You know what I mean? Well, they need to punch him square in the face.
I have.
You have. No, you've done worse. You've done worse.
Okay. Anyways, that ain't about this.
I'm so sick of this shit. Like, women are so undervalued and underappreciated. And I understand that we have all of these other cultural issues that we need to address, systemic racism, we have biases to work through. But I think on a basic fundamental human level, we need to like establish footing and ground in women's rights and in the way that women are perceived, because that's the foundation of humanity. Like, you are born as this person, and this goes the same for people who are transgendered and people who are non-binary. Like, you are born as this person. Let's acknowledge who you are before we get into the nitty-gritty. You know, and I think everything needs to be fought for and advocated for. But I feel like
humanity wouldn't exist without women,
right?
So
let's just start
interesting.
There.
Right.
Yeah, they can carry the future, but they can't be the future.
Right.
What? You know? I mean, we're getting deep into it too, but
I know
it's too much, and we need to start acknowledging women as human beings and not just pieces. Just
machines.
Yeah.
I mean, we are definitely machines.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I agree with you
forever.
in everything you said. And I also want to add that sometimes that is like an anxious response or a trauma response.
Okay.
Just the like, especially if you grew up in a household that was like always, you weren't sure mommy's mood or daddy's mood, or you know what I mean? And so you always had to walk on eggshells and you didn't want to poke the bear. So it was like you learned to, oh, sorry mom, sorry dad, you know, sorry whoever. And so that became like an anxious or traumatic response for you, where it turned to like a habit. So
let me ask you this, because that totally makes sense too. And I don't know, I'm not as psychologically minded as you are, but is there a point in the psyche where the apology becomes a justification for your action rather than a sincere apology? Like, do you just do it because it makes everything better, or do you do it because you're sincerely sorry? Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm just trying.
Like when you're doing the trauma response part of it, like always having to say sorry to mom and dad. You know, to me, thinking back on my childhood, it's like a lot of it is because I needed to say sorry because I may have done something that bothered them. I don't know that I have, but I'm going to say sorry.
Right.
I don't know that I necessarily feel sorry. So does it continue being something where you're saying it because it smoothed things over, or, you know, it gives you a better outlook to say, I'm sorry? Or are you saying it because you sincerely are sorry for something?
I mean, it might be different for people, but for like the trauma and the anxious apologizer, it's like I did something. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know.
So they actually like, think they've done something
just,
wrong.
Whether they...
Like if you just bump someone.
Like, I don't even know that they get that far. I think it's like a way to avoid anything. You know what I mean? I'm trying to stop an issue before it starts by apologizing.
So I guess to go back to maybe that example, because they're actually apologizing for some. It's kind of like a fine line for me, or maybe it's the way that both of our thoughts are converging here, where it's like they're trying to smooth something over, but they also are actually sorry for something.
Yeah, I think they're actually sorry for something. I think they've kind of gotten to this point where, like, maybe in childhood, they were always doing something that was setting mommy or daddy off. So they just learned that it's them. It's something they did.
Okay, that's
And so
more
now
my
they're
way.
apologizing whether they know for what or not. And so they just immediately go to an apology because it's like, if you already are angry, I'm sorry. And if you're not yet angry, I'm sorry, in hopes to keep you not angry.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
One of my favorite podcasts, the hosts talk about how every once in a while women are like expected to sit and smile and not essentially be, contributing members to society. And that's sometimes just saying I'm sorry. It's just like a polite way to like get by. And they are always telling women to fuck politeness. And I think that that's something to live by for everyone. Sometimes you just got to bypass that. You've got to just like get over that hump and just be like, I'm not apologizing for this stupid fucking thing.
Right.
Like, all right. So like I bump someone and go like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
But like if you're just sitting down and look over while someone's like talking,
Right.
why are you going to apologize for that?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling.
No, I agree. I like it.
What is,
Akon?
yeah.
Let's see what Akon said. The value of I'm sorry gets seriously watered down when it covers everything from plowing your SUV into somebody's living room to yahooing the waitress. Because an apology is an admission that we've wronged somebody, the quote-unquote pre-crime weenieism above seems to make no sense.
Huh?
Because an apology is an admission that we've wronged somebody, the pre-crime weenieism above seems to make no sense.
Weenieism?
Yeah. Literal weenieism.
Oh, sure. Let's keep going.
It's not like the waitress was hired to read gripping crime novels, and how dare you tear her away from finding out who the real killer is when you could just eat your polenta with your hands.
Sure.
However, sorry isn't always an acknowledgement of I did something awful to you. Sometimes it's a preemptive measure. Don't do anything awful to me. Psychologist Joyce Bennison explains that women across cultures are prone to take this precautionary approach, basically the verbal version of walking on eggshells, in hopes of averting social and physical conflict and avoiding retaliation. Girls and women use more tentative, hedgy-wedgy language, front-loading even the most innocuous requests with meek speak like, I normally wouldn't ask, and I hate to bother you. Numerous studies have shown that girls and women use polite speech much more than boys and men, notes Bennison. Women also use more speech softeners, weasel phrases.
Downey?
Like, in my opinion, to be honest, and apologies taken to absurd extremes. I'm sorry, but would you mind not standing on my foot? This is there's only one more paragraph. I'll just squeeze it in.
Sure, go for it.
Because boys and men tend to be direct, women's mealy mouthing is unfairly stigmatized as a defect. Bennison explains that men and women evolved to have different roles and motivations in line with their physiologies in order to ensure the survival of their children or adulthood. For example, males from boyhood on specialize in defense, fighting the enemy, and protecting the baby makers of the species. Oh, I lied about one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we get it.
5, 6 more paragraphs.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yes, protecting the baby makers, but then belittling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck culture and
Protecting
society.
them while we're abusing them.
Fuck politeness, like Karen and Georgia say. Fuck politeness.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think it's she went more in depth.
Yeah, I liked this answer
Yeah.
in the terms of like, yes, everything we said was true, but also women are more apt to be more sensitive or emotional, and so therefore we use more words that are, Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can I just squeeze by you? You know what I mean?
Right. But stop.
I know. Maybe. I also don't hate it.
Yeah.
That type of instance.
Yeah. I think if someone, I'm thinking of when someone's stepping on your foot, and if you just went like, you're on my foot, I'd be like, whoa.
Right. Like, my bad, bro.
But like, excuse me, you mind, you're on my foot.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the response too.
Yeah.
But I also see what she's saying. Like, why do you have to be polite for the stupidest things?
Yeah.
In so many words, as Amy Alkon would put it. Well, that's this week's episode.
That's Amy Alkon.
That's Amy Alkon, the Advice Goddess, I think, right? I said that?
I
Sure.
believe so.
Yeah. Google it if I'm wrong and let me know. Will you?
Yeah, Amy, let us know.
Let us know, Amy. In the meantime, to our beautiful listeners, you can find us on...
You can find me in St. Louis.
Yeah, that one too. Or maybe my mouth could work.
Well, I can just keep singing until it does.
Okay.
We're the gun play ring all day. Na na na.
Okay, it's ready.
Perfect.
Okay, send us your questions, your
Some
comments,
good jobs.
and your concerns for Stephanie.
And your song choices.
and your song
for
choices.
this week's DJ.
It'll be next week's soundtrack. illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us online at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
You also can find us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
And TikTok. Yes.
At Ill-Advised the Podcast.
And
Is that our TikTok
yes.
name also?
Of course. I didn't want
you
to.
Fucking better be.
I wanted to break the pattern.
Fucking better be.
I wanted to break the pattern. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. You guys really are making this podcast and this time with us together even more worthwhile. We really appreciate your support, like immensely. So you're beautiful, you're wonderful. Sport that pearl necklace, and thank you so much for listening.
Punch that man in the face. You've been ill-advised.